Hey friends, it's Michael. Thanks for joining me. In this video, I'm going to share a little bit more about my background and how I woke up to 9/11 and how that led to so many other rabbit holes. I know from talking to people that a lot of people have been through, most of them have been through a similar experience. So I thought I would write mine out and just kind of give you the quick version. But along the way, I'm going to embellish a little bit. So here we go. In about 2006, I went to an outdoor music fest in upstate New York, the Gathering of the Vibes, and began chatting with an older gentleman and his family about the music. And one thing led to another. I found out he was a retired college level physics professor, and he told me that the official story of 9/11 was impossible and that it would come out one day, essentially. Um, we parted ways. I didn't keep in touch with him, unfortunately, but I didn't think too much about it either. I thought it was kind of a kooky thing to say, and there's probably more to it, but that this guy was, I don't know. But he was a professor. He seemed pretty legit, so it stayed with me in the back of my mind. Um, I mostly dismissed the idea. So months later, I decided to move to Brooklyn, New York from Boston to play and teach music, and met some folks on the train and at the train stations handing out DVDs and stickers and whatnot about investigating the official story of 9/11. And I thought, they're crazy, right? I mean, I'll just do some research and just come back the next day and kind of prove them wrong or whatever. And many of us have been through that, but I couldn't. I couldn't prove them wrong. Um, the questions are the holes in the official story are just gaping, and there are just too many of them. So what else? I also thought to myself, well, maybe these guys are just traumatized. They live in New York and they just haven't quite figured out what happened, and they just want another explanation, and they just haven't. They're not thinking clearly. Now, 10 years later, I have come across so many people with various mental blocks that I have to remember that I went through that experience myself. I have to provide them, well, I choose to provide them with the kind of patience and kind of goodwill that I would hope people had given me as I was launching into that difficult part of the journey. Unfortunately, that period, for a lot of people, we overdose on the red pill effect. And anyway, I quickly discovered researchers like Peter Dale Scott and uh, Richard Gage and all these truthers, David Ray Griffin and Sophia Smallstorm. And I'm going to go through a list of people that I follow in another video. But this is just like a quick introduction about how that started for me. One thing led to another. I kept seeing UFO stuff and thought it was disinformation, and just to confuse the issue. 9/11 researchers. I also saw all the material about directed energy weapons and holograms from Judy Wood and Richard Hall. I thought that was just disinfo, and it was part of my journey. And now I'm taking it quite seriously. But anyway, that's kind of in a nutshell how it began for me. And I hope you'll check back for updates, and I'll be making more videos. Thanks.